is going to be more of like a serious video because I have things to say that I think should be said. I feel like some people, like especially teenagers, feel alone and they feel like out of place. But anyways, this is going to be a video on how to be confident about yourself. Just kidding, it's just a video about being yourself. Basically, most of this happens at school. People make fun of you. People make fun of me because, you know what, I really don't care what people think about me. So I be myself. I just simply be myself. They're really judgmental. It gets on my nerves because, say, Uggs. Last year at our school anyways, they were like the style. Like everybody wore them. And this year they are socially unacceptable. For what reason, I do not know. For example, if they saw a girl wearing Uggs, we don't know her, we don't know her name, we have no idea who she is. She's wearing Uggs. They aren't even my friends. It's complicated. So they will go whisper to another person and say, "Ew, she's wearing Uggs. That's disgusting. That's not even on brand anymore," or whatever they say. You know what? That girl is not stupid. She can see you going like this. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And that girl, last year she might have seen everybody wearing Uggs, all the cool kids wearing Uggs. And, she might have been like, "Oh, I really want some of those." And her family, they could be dirt poor. They could have absolutely no money. They might not be able to afford enough food for their family. They might not be able to afford clothes. That girl might get her lunch and her breakfast free at the school because they can't afford it. Maybe her family, or maybe she worked for it and she saved up $5 a month to go, buy Uggs. And finally she saved up enough money and she went and she bought these Uggs. She was so happy. It was like the first day of winter, so she could wear boots. And she wore them to school and people are laughing at her about it. I went through a really hard time in my life. To make a long story short, I was suicidal, very low point in my life. At school I acted fine. I really wasn't. I was debating on, putting a gun to my head. But anyways, your best friend could be going through that. You might not know. I didn't tell my best friend. I was so lost. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And if people made fun of me, it tore me down so much because when something bad is happening to you and you don't know what to do, sometimes for certain people, when you look at yourself in the mirror, all you can see is this broken person. You say, "Oh, I'm ugly. I'm too fat." If you're really skinny, you might say, "I'm anorexic." For me, I looked in the mirror and I said, "Look at me." I don't even recognize myself anymore because before all this happened, I was confident. I saw a pretty blonde girl. I was in 6th grade. I thought I was pretty. I mean, I don't really think I'm that pretty now, but back then I did. I was a 6th grader. When all this stuff was going on, I looked exactly the same, but I just saw myself differently. I would be like, "I'm ugly. I'm anorexic." And then I tried to eat more. I remember one time my mom got Zaxby's and I shoved so much bread in my mouth because I was so self-conscious about that because people would talk to me about it and can you imagine looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, "I want to kill myself"? And I mean, listen to that for a minute. I want to kill myself. There is a big difference between I want to die and I want to kill myself. For some people, they just want to die. They want to be done with life, with all the bullshit people put them through. But some people just say, "I want to kill myself." When you're mad, if a guy's ever cheated on you and you hate him, we don't hate him. We love everybody. We're nice to everybody. You hate the thing that he did, and sometimes you're just like, you might be joking, but you say, "I want to kill him. I want to kill him." You want to be the one to put a gun to his head and say, "Sorry," and shoot him. But that's not literal, but you say it. And that's sort of like the same thing for people who are going through a rough time. They might not just want to die. They might want to kill themselves. They want to be the one who puts the gun to their head and ends their life because they hate themselves that much. And they don't know any better. They don't have anybody. Instead of people going to them and, being like, "Hey, I've never really seen you act like this. I know something different's going on. What's up? Like my friend did. They go to you and they might be like, hey, what's going on? I've been noticing you're acting different. And that person, they might just blow it off. But at least you asked. Instead, people have other people coming up to them. Somebody might make a comment like, wow, nice shirt. And like start laughing. And they're kidding. They're making fun of your shirt. And some people are really sensitive to that. I was, and I was going through that time. But now I don't even care. If you're going through a time like that, you just need to know that God does not put you in any situation that you cannot overcome. God does not throw anything at you can't throw right back. If you're going through a hard time, the reason that God put that in your life might be to make you a stronger person. I know I'm way stronger than I've ever been in my whole entire life right now. Without that experience, I would probably want to be one of those mean girls talking about other people. And I'm grateful for that. And if I could go back and take back that whole experience that made me the person I am today, I wouldn't do it. Because I know that it shaped who I am right now. I feel like some people watching this video, whether you're suicidal, you're the person that's laughing at other people, or you're the person like me who's gone through something and overcome it, I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. Even if you're the one that's making fun of other people, you know it's wrong. You just think it's funny, and it's not. Because you never know what the other person's going through. Suicide is growing. The rate is growing and not stopping. People don't want to commit suicide because of themselves. They want to commit suicide because of another situation or other people around them. Some people might just be really sensitive, and if people make fun of them every day, they might be like, well, this person hates me, this person hates me, this other person hates me too, and I hate myself because of that. If they hate me, there must obviously be something wrong with me. You make them think that. And then they want to do bad things to themselves. They don't want to be here anymore. They don't want to deal with you anymore. They want to be gone. Earth is a temporary place. You need to live it up. You need to have fun, be crazy. But you also need to be a good person. You don't need to make fun of people. How would you feel if somebody committed suicide and wrote a suicide note? Your name on it. Dear Mom and Dad, I've been feeling really lost and nobody has noticed. At school, it's been really hard because these two girls were making fun of me every single day. And I just couldn't take it anymore. If you ever saw that letter and you knew you made fun of that person, how bad would you feel? Just think about that next time you're making fun of somebody, because you have no idea what's going on in their lives. And it really does mean a lot if you just go to somebody that you haven't talked to before and you just say, hey, what's going on? And you just act like you're so fine. And I said, well, I am fine. But a while ago I wasn't. I act the exact same way I do now as I did then. The difference is I'm not trying to hide anything. And she said, I act like nothing's wrong, but there is. And I said, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And then I saw her hand, and there was like a pencil writing on it. And so I took her hand and I said, what's this? And she said, my friend died. She got in a car wreck, and I carved her initials in my hand with my pencil. And I said, look, why don't you do this? Why don't you go home and get a Sharpie and write her name on your wrist, just like you get a tattoo. And never, ever put something in your body again that hurts you. And I want that to be the way that you put stuff on your body that you want to remember, because this is not the way. It's not going to make anything better. The reason that people do that kind of stuff is because they can't deal with the emotional pain, but they can deal with the physical pain. I started doing that to myself when I was in that hard time. And it worked for 5 minutes. And I was so much more insecure than I already was. Basically, what I want everybody to get out of this video is to be nice to everybody, even if you hate their guts. Also, if you're going through a hard time, you can get through it. I promise. God loves you. I love all of you. And third, if you're the person making fun of somebody else, don't beat yourself up for it. Just simply stop. You're not a bad person. You just do things that you shouldn't necessarily be proud of. But if you stop, you can make a difference. You can influence your friends. You can influence other people's lives. Because maybe you were going through a rough time and you felt like you needed to verbally attack other people. So that's what I did. I did that to my best friend. I almost lost her forever. After that whole experience, now we're closer than we've ever been. I just really want you all to take something good from this video to school, and I want you to start being nicer. Talk to a person that looks like they're having a rough time, sort of like I did, because it really could change their lives forever. Well, I love you guys so much, and you're going to do something great when you grow up. Just keep that in mind. You're not going to be nobody. You're going to be somebody. Only if you work for it, though. So keep working for it.